Game started Monday. They'll continue through the weekend. Boy, what a game it was with Johnson C. Smith last night. Oh, just an incredible finish. Our Caroline Hicks is looking into all the things that are happening today, what with the CIAA tournament, and she joins us now live with the very latest. Good morning, Caroline.
6:43 live in the Alert Center. During that summit overnight in Vietnam and that news conference that followed after the talks with the North Korean president broke down, President Trump did say that he wasn't so sure if and when there would be a third summit. He also said he would call the South Korean president once he got onto Air Force One to tell him what happened. Well, the office of the president in South Korea is now saying in the past few minutes that in that phone call, President Donald Trump regretted the collapse of the nuclear summit with the North Korean leader, but expressed a firm commitment to continue the negotiations. Christine, so that's the latest.
All right, Kristen, thank you. Serious crime police are investigating here in West Charlotte. This was the scene last night along Grandin Road where 3 people were found shot. 2 of those 3 people died, and we have the identities of those victims, 17-year-old Ibn Marshall and 18-year-old Anubius Smith. But right now there is nobody in custody for this, so this is an ongoing investigation. John, one will be watching and following and hopefully getting new information today.
Absolutely. And we got a situation up in the Mooresville area. A couple hundred people, customers without power this morning because there was a wreck that took out a utility pole. This is along Fairview Road there at near Mecklenburg Highway in Mooresville. About 230 or so customers without power now. They're hoping to have power restored by about 3:30 this afternoon, so a little patience you're going to need there. Meanwhile, this is one of the most gorgeous shots of Charlotte, the skyline I've ever seen.
How about that, huh?
That is gorgeous.
Yeah, now, of course, everybody that lives down here and is driving down here, you've got some problems this morning, but take a look at it. That is just awesome right there.
Have been on the table for a while. Well, today, South Carolina senators will debate a bill that will give the Panthers tax breaks and incentives to move some operations south of the state line. Our Sharon Hayes is joining us now live outside Bank of America Stadium. She's been looking into this story. So good morning, Sharon. What are state senators set to do today? Hurricane season, which is coming up and all. And a lot of people think, well, Al, we're inland. We're not going to be bothered by hurricanes. Of course, they don't remember Hugo, I guess.
Well, Hugo and, of course, even Matthew and Florence last year. You're right, John. The hurricane hunters are here. They also, the C-130 plane from the reconnaissance folks, that's also going to be here. This was earlier last month when I was down in Texas and we got to see this. But here's the deal, John. The greatest threat is water. It's not wind. These storms are classified by wind. That's what that scale is. And Eric's going to be talking to the Hurricane Center Director, Ken Graham, about that because there's some controversy about that because it's water that accounts for 90% of the direct fatalities. Wow. So why do we measure them by wind, right? It doesn't really seem to give the right message. No. Keep in mind, John, no such thing as a weak hurricane. What I mean by that is that since 2010, the last 9 seasons, we have had Category 1 storms that have accounted for direct fatalities in this country of 175 and over $100 billion in damage. And a lot of these fatalities were in the Carolinas, and they were inland, away from the coast.
Away from the coast,
We had 4 fatalities in our viewing area last year just from Florence alone, including a tree falling down, unfortunately, on an infant. Remember that in Gaston County? Then we had folks going around barricades. So the main threat here is always the water. It's not the wind. The wind is an issue, but the main threat is water. So we've been trying to tell folks, now is the time to start thinking about, you get flash flooding in your area, and if you do, know your risk. It's time to start thinking about insurance. It's time to start thinking about preparation. That's why we're going out with the folks at the Hurricane Center today, and we'll be live coming up at noon today.
Yeah, looking forward to that too, but it's just be prepared. Don't react to it. Act on it right now before the time comes.
All hazards.
Okay. All right. Good stuff there, Al. Thanks. Looking forward to this afternoon at noon. Hope you'll be watching then. Right now, time to get back over to Kristen Miranda in the Alert Center. Lately, you know, not only is it the pollen, but the bugs are back. And this morning, we're on your side breaking down what you need to know to protect yourself and your property from springtime pests. All new this half hour. WBTV's Sharon Hayes has been talking to experts about what you can deal with, how you can deal with these pests and such. And she's joining us now live with the very latest with some good information this morning, Sharon.
Nice week as well for the Wells Fargo Championship around here with the practice rounds, which get underway, of course, starting on Monday. So as we take a look at the rest of this 7-day first alert forecast, you will notice that those temperatures, they're generally back into the 80s by the time we head into the end of next week. And it looks for the most part pretty dry all the way through next Thursday. But we're getting ready to head into the first weekend of May here. So let's take a look at that. Every Friday, we present to you your double weekend forecast. So we've got next Friday, which is May 3rd, 4th, and 5th, Cinco de Mayo. So a fun weekend. On Friday, it looks like we're going to have a warm up into the 80s, and there actually are pretty consistent signs in our long range data that we're probably going to have a front in here with some storms on Saturday, clearing out by the 5th. But behind that, it'll be a little bit cooler with temperatures in the 70s. John and Christine, back to you.